Hi, let me show you how to manage the settings in the summary block in Squarespace. There's a lot of nuance to it, and I think once you see this, you'll kind of get it. But let me walk you through it really quick. It's over here in my shared browser, and this is a page. It's live. This is real, and this jobs page on this website has these summary blocks, these lists of opportunities with companies that are part of the community that are looking for some help. I'm going to hit the edit button here in the top left corner and scroll down, and you can see that when I hover over these blocks of job listings, it says summary in the little blue block there. To add one real quick, you hit add block, scroll down to display, and you'll see summary here. And it starts out with just blank stock content and a different layout setting. And I'm going to show you how to manage that in just a second. For now, I'm going to delete this because we don't need it. And working on a real page here. Now I can click on this and hit the pencil. You can also double click on it and you will get the settings. Now, under content, you pick which blog or gallery page that you want listed here. You want that content pulled in and shown inside of this summary block. And there are settings where you can pick different types of metadata, whether it's date posted, category, tags, the author, however you want that sorted. And you can also pick a secondary, which really helps you get very granular when it comes to displaying this content. Now, the content in this instance isn't a blog per se. We really just, these are external links to job listings on these member websites. But if we wanted to say sort them by recency with one and author by the other, or location, we could absolutely do that. Another option would be to filter items. And this is where we're using tags to sort each one of these galleries. So this one says biz dev, and you can see we've got these tags here. So we're filtering by this category. I said tag, I meant category. You can see under this one, dev jobs, and under this one, we're sorting by marketing jobs. And in this case, we have each one of these multiple summaries on this page sorting different categories inside of the one master blog. And I can show you what that looks like here. Let me hit exit. I don't need to save this. And there's a jobs gallery blog, and all of those jobs are listed here. And we don't need anybody coming to this page, so what it looks like doesn't actually matter, because every single one of these is set to be an external link, right? So link source, which is a great way to get a summary without having to have a deep blog or commenting or any kind of experience like that on the website. Anyway, back to the jobs page. Remember, I was going to keep this quick. I'm going to hit edit in the top left corner again and scroll down, and I'm going to come back to this business development one and double click on it. Now I showed you the content types and how to pull content in and decide what content you want displayed. Under design, it's how we want it displayed. And there are different formats. There's wall, which looks like Pinterest. I'll click that for you and break everything here. Since these are pretty much the same size, it's not really having the full effect. There's a carousel, which will have a next and previous button and show you which ones are kind of in there. There's the grid, which looks like the wall one here because they're all the same size, but grid is absolutely grid discipline, however many you want to put in there. We're using the list one here because it's nice and tidy. They're external links. It really isn't about a content experience from, like, say, a content marketing standpoint. This is all about getting a list in here as efficiently as possible and getting users to that external source so they can review the job description and maybe relate with it and apply. Now, you're seeing 4 items here, and you're seeing number of items at 12. And it's only going to show as many are in that category or tag. But if I reduce this down to 3, you'll see it'll show 3, 2, 1. And 1 is a great way to do something very specific and have that content in your blog database without having to have an entire summary. I sneaky use the summary block like that a few times. If you want to increase the total number of items visible here, you just slide this all the way up. You can have up to 30. And that's going to be a lot of images. I would be cautious with that if you have an image for every single post. But in general, this right now is set to 4. Well, we have 4. It was set to 12, and I'm going to leave it like that. You can also manage the image size and the image's aspect ratio. So whatever size or format, aspect ratio your image is, you want to set this so that there is as little bleed off of the image as possible. You can manage the alignment left and right. So if you want your images on the left or on the right, that's up to you. You can manage your text size. And these are general settings, small, medium, and large. They are more customizable. In this case, we're using medium. You can center all of this. You can right, left, justify it. And then when it comes to the elements, you can decide if you want to include the featured image at all, which you don't have to do. Great for a text list. Or if you want the excerpt with the post or read more link, which if you really want people to go to the blog post, you would absolutely use the read more link. In this case, this is a highly experienced audience, many of whom are in the web development game, and they don't need to be nudged into clicking with a link because they know exactly how that works. So you can decide other things. You can give this entire thing a background and start styling it up, and borders and blend mode and blurs, and that gets really deep. I'll just say, be careful. You can make things in here pretty nuts. So in this case, we have a longer list down here under development, and maybe we have more than 9 items. Maybe we want to include 12 items. We just slide this up to 12 and it will include 12 items. And this is how you manage your summary blocks in Squarespace. There are custom code and other things you can do to really dial in the details, but for the most part, this should get you going and set your site up for success. Honestly, I use what's called the blog all the time because essentially it's just a database. It's a list of content articles or items that we want to pull in categorically into different areas of the site, and it is a great way to make the content throughout the site extremely dynamic and dialed in for whatever the subject matter is in that page or that section of the website without having to rebuild that every single time you want to add a link. You can make it dynamic by managing inside of the post once the rules are set up for the summary. And that unlocks massive amounts of power when it comes to the content on the website. So anyway, I hope this was helpful. I hope you're having a great day, and I will see you in the next one. Oh, and like and subscribe. I almost hit end recording and I almost forgot to say like and subscribe, please. It really helps the channel out. I appreciate it.